Carmen Aguirre is a bloody terrorist. How we let her into Canada, I don't understand. Marina Neymat, and it's known to other prisoners who shared her experience, tells a story that's not true, and you can tell it's not true when you read it. So take that, y'all, take that.
Okay, all right.
It is not failed, okay?
It's not true.
It is not failed.
Well, hang on.
It's not true, y'all. We lawyers, we learn to say anything.
Well, you've...
Don't believe
Don't let her
what I just said.
Okay, so...
You're making the tiger look good now.
I have to adjust a couple things. First of all, you've certainly won the affection of all your panelists. Well done. That's an interesting strategy. Terrorism, by the way, when you talk about Carmen Aguirre, I just want to make sure I say this. That's a very strong word. Some people would consider resisting the Pinochet dictatorship civil disobedience as well. So just to clarify that.
No, there was nothing civil about her. Bomb-carrying, murdering terrorists.
And also, your... Marina Neymat's story not being true is also an opinion, and so
no, there is objective reality, Gian. There's objective reality. You know, you have to willfully suspend your disbelief
but
to read fiction.
But a memoir is a memoir, and it comes from a person's perspective of what they understood. And I think there's always going to be elements, and she's quite upfront saying at the beginning of the book, this is the best I can recall, and you have to allow that with anything. I mean, I'm telling you, an author who puts thoughts into another person's head and speaks about them, I struggle with, because I think even when you're trying to say what another person is thinking, that's hard, let alone what an animal is thinking. So I think we've got to be very careful that we have to understand all of these authors were trying to portray a story to the best of their ability about real, true facts.
But here's the difference, at least when we're doing it...
Actually, speak to Carmen Aguirre.
Yes, I mean, if you consider her a terrorist, you have to consider Nelson Mandela a terrorist. You do consider Nelson Mandela. Okay, then
straight blood on
we
his
can
hands.
continue. We can continue.
Yeah, let's just carry on.
All right.
I feel very strongly about the point that although I enjoyed all of these books, this show is not called Siberia Reads, and it's not called Bolivia Reads, and it's not called Tehran Reads. I think that a book about something indigenous, we define ourselves in Canada by Canadiana and indigenous things. I thought there was a wonderful travelogue and history of Russia and Siberia. I learned so much about the boreal forest, about every country in South America through Something Fierce, a lot about Tehran. I want to read, if we're judging a Canadian book that all Canadians should read, let's have it be about something that's Canadian, not just by Canadians.
These are people who found refuge in Canada and came from terrible corners of the world where we can't imagine really what they suffered unless they write about it. The problem being, I would have preferred truer stories. Honestly, I would have preferred, I say this nicely because the stories, all this research you see here is on those two books, because I would have preferred truer stories, better representatives of the people.
A lot of people would believe that the first generation immigrant experience is a quintessentially Canadian experience as well, right?
It is.
Wait, but this is about all of these books we're talking about are about the experience out of Canada. This is not an in Canada.
No, it's what drives people to Canada. It's exactly what creates Canadian culture is this thread that runs through all of us that are immigrants, some who are born here, and the point is that we come here because we share a set of values and we care about freedom and we care about this country. Culture is everything. It is not just about a game or arts, or it's all of it. So,
and that's a point Ken Dryden himself would make, right?
Go very quickly. I don't know if you guys know that we're doing this each day. I'm going to give you some information that could or maybe should influence your outcome. We're streaming live video at cbc.ca/Canada Reads, and we've got an ongoing poll. People are writing, telling us and voting at home and wherever they're watching us, and they've been doing it, what book they think should be voted off. We've been asking Canadians to rank all 5 Canada Reads books. At the moment, according to Canadians, the least favorite Canadian Canada Reads book is The Game.
Ooh.
At 35%.
Those are all Maple Leaf fans.
He was president of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Did you hear that? Cue the music. Suddenly there's like...
Oh my God.
The second least favorite is on a Cold Road. The book that Canadians feel should not be voted off. Now, you can do what you want with these results, by the way. This is not binding at all. Only 11% think Prisoner of Tehran should be voted off at this point in the debate. So, do with that what you will, but and then hear from Canadians after you make your decision. Panelists, do whatever you want with that information. On this note, let's go to the first vote. Stacey McKenzie, which book have you voted off Canada Reads?
I voted off The Game.
One vote against The Game by Ken Dryden. Arlene Dickinson, which book did you vote to eliminate from Canada Reads 2012?
I voted to vote off The Tiger.
All right. One vote against The Game. One vote against The Tiger. Alan Thicke, which book did you vote to eliminate from Canada Reads?
The Prisoner of Tehran.
All right. We have a three-way tie so far. One vote against The Tiger, one vote against The Game, one vote against Prisoner of Tehran. So far, On a Cold Road and Something Fierce are not going to be eliminated. Shad, which book did you vote to be eliminated from Canada Reads 2012?
I voted against The Tiger.
All right. So, Anne France Goldwater, unless you're... Well, actually, this could be interesting. Because assuming you're not voting against your own book, we either have a tie or your book is off. So, Anne France Goldwater, you can't change your vote now. What book did you vote to eliminate from Canada Reads?
Prisoner of Tehran.
Oh boy. All right. So what that means is we have 2 votes against Prisoner of Tehran and 2 votes against The Tiger. Now, we do have rules in Canada Reads for this, a tie. In a case like this, we turn to the Canada Reads rule book. According to the rule book, the tie must be broken, you're not going to like this, by the panelists who voted for neither of the tied books.
Oh boy.
That would be you, Stacey McKenzie. The 2 books on the table to be voted off, Prisoner of Tehran and The Tiger. Which of those books will you vote, Stacey McKenzie, off Canada Reads 2012?
Oh man, this is so hard.
I really need an answer.
Okay, this is about my book. I'm going for it. Prisoner of Tehran.
That was Stacey McKenzie casting her tie-breaking vote against Marina Nemat's memoir, Prisoner of Tehran.